Truth Frequency Radio.
Yeah, well, let's just go ahead and call that hello, because apparently my soundboard's not working. Things are all messed up here in the studio just because I have the main computer out for repair, which just sort of leaves the old computers that haven't been run in a couple of years.
So, push that button, though.
Oh, yeah. Gotta definitely push that button, though. Come on. Yeah, this one just doesn't run nearly as fast as my other, that's for damn sure. What the hell is going on?
Well, we're here, regardless
Sort
of whether your computer's here or not.
Why is everything flipped? What in the hell is going on?
Yeah, well, again, new computer is always a struggle.
I'm so confused.
Howdy, y'all.
There he is.
Howdy. I'm typing to the lovely folks there in the lovely chat. Hello, lovely folks.
All right.
All right. You said that, but it didn't really sound very convinced. Uh-oh, did you go away?
It depends on who you're talking to.
I mean, you know, anybody, everybody, whoever might have left me. As I type away here. I will get it done, though. Hey, it's Friday, my dudes.
It is Friday, my dudes.
Cool.
I'd play it, but nobody will hear it.
Yeah, but you can't. And that's cool. That's why I said it, because it is. Rye bread in the house. Liz, I see you. Did you see the video I sent you, Liz? It's just for Liz. Me and Liz are like cat retards, so I'll send it to y'all too, I promise. Hang on. I'm almost done here saying hello. How are you, Zach?
I'm doing all right. I'm tired. I think I saw past 11 last night.
Yeah. That'll do it. Did I miss? I know I missed somebody.
How are you doing?
Boy. I'm good, man. I can't shake these allergies this season. I don't know why it's been so bad. And of course, you know, shows cats. It's like I've had these cats for 2.5 years now. If it was the cats, I'd be dead by now. Because if I was doing this every day for 2 years, yeah, I'd probably bowed out. It's been rough. But definitely dealing with it in every way I can. Added more honey to the mix, honey and cinnamon. I pumped up the honey even with some cinnamon. Now I'm looking at maybe doing the man, I don't know. I can't remember what it actually is called. It's some type of fire tonic that comes from like the mountains, and it's got like peppers and, you know, but you can make it from local things, and it helps with like all kinds of stuff, allergies, seasonal crap, colds, whatever that might just be hanging on. It kind of, you know, burns it out, I guess, with the extra pepper and all that in it. I had some a few years ago that I had found just to try, and yeah, it was pretty good. Now I'm looking around, and there's a bunch of different variants that I don't know enough about yet to jump on one. So if anybody has a recommendation there in chat, let me know about your favorite tonic to deal with it, because it is not a pleasant time for me. I will say I think I'm flipped, though. I seem to have flipped myself, because I see Ironworx backwards on the screen, which is something I've never seen before. But hey,
Just keep watching.
you know.
It should flip back.
Oh, it does. Well, I'm just paused early on. I always pause the video just to keep the CPU usage down a bit. So that's my own fault then. I see a lot of familiar faces that we haven't seen on a regular basis. Wow, I think I made a poet out of myself and didn't know it. That didn't work. Anyway, cool to see some good folks back around. Good to see the good folks that are always around. And how are you, Josh, except for the new computer? We know about that problem.
Well, I mean, given where I was just a few hours ago, I think I'm doing miraculously well. I'm doing all right. It's been hotter.
Where were you a few hours ago?
Computerless. I had a studio with no computer in it, so I managed to get one hooked up and semi-functioning before the show. So I'm feeling pretty damn good about myself, despite the technical difficulties. It's been real hot. It's about 105 with the heat index here yesterday. So
Good Lord.
yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to the South. I mean, no, you're not down here yet. You're just practicing.
Just practicing, right? Other than that, it's been a pretty quiet week. Really didn't want to wake up this morning. 3 hit and said, "Oh shit, I guess I gotta get up." But I didn't want to. I just wanted to sleep in.
Yeah. That's kind of where I've been edging into with the overabundance of histamines in my system. It's a lot of drowsy blurredness. But I've done my best to overcome it this morning. So I'm here. I am here. I see Travis from Red Hen Radio, the Ubercast Uberman himself. I was over there hanging out in his one of his live chats yesterday. There's many. I'm sure I could have jumped in more, but I definitely was hanging out for a minute. You guys, if you see, let's see, what is it? The Ubercast. That's already in chat here. And Red Hen as well. Go click on that sub, put on those notifications, get that shared out there. For sure. He has shared a video.
Did you see they caught a picture of one of those blue whales with a giant squid in its mouth? I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from.
I never saw that, but
no, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, you got to go look that up. It's insane. They actually have video of this blue whale swimming along with like a 40-foot squid in its mouth. Crazy. You know, they've always thought about, I don't know where I'm tired. This just came out of like left field. But yeah, you know, they see all these scars and stuff of suction cup marks on the whales and stuff, but they had never caught video of one actually that had just caught a squid. I don't know if I could find it. I'm sorry. That derailed everything. I don't know where that came from. Oh, shit.
I'm seeing some different things. I'm not seeing a recent one, though, that maybe I'm looking past it. You'll have to find it.
Yeah.
Everything I'm finding is like from 2019, 2006, 2012. Nothing this year yet. I may have searched incorrectly. If you find it, let me know. Drop it. For sure.
Yeah, I will.
Here's one from 2006, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Not seeing it myself. But again, I'm multitasking, and that's not one of my strong suits. Well, but yeah, it's Friday, and we're all kind of meh, it would seem.
Yeah, we are.
So our apologies for all you who have gone, wow, what's Iron Realm been up to, and popped back in this morning. It's usually a little more lively. We're all out of sorts, definitely. Our apologies around. Yes, Ray, you're correct. Less thumbs are definitely, more thumbs are needed. We have less. Well, wake up. Oh, and I have a cat typing for me. Come here, you. Get off that. Let's just go ahead and put her message in for you guys. That came from Ripley. We've had some adjustment periods still with the kittens. One of them has a bit of a nervous over grooming issue going on. One of the female Claire, the white calico, has a spot that's just like right where she can tuck her head and lick and pull right around her neck. She did it a little bit when she was first here, right after the night of Nacho. The night of Nacho. And she put a little right after that, she started doing it again. Am I choppy? Liz is saying. Interesting. Huh. You guys hear choppy on my end?
No, you sound good here.
It could be computer problems, or, Josh is still trying to get the dust settled on his computer, which is where everything eventually goes through. So if that could be the choppiness. I checked my mic going in. I was pretty good.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Again, this is all what the computer told me. On it, you will see us later today. Again, we've been multitasking on many fronts here. Josh got a new computer. We're trying to get some new things going behind the scenes. You probably have heard little plans.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get them worked out. So that's been a little distracting as well. So yeah, Zombie says I'm choppy too. So it's got to be Josh's end. Talk a minute, Zach, and see if they're getting chopped on you, or if it is just me. I could have hit a cord. The cat could have unplugged something walking across, or hit a dial, or stepped on a play on the keyboard and something's playing.
It's got to be me because you sound great to me. So
yeah, it's got to be Josh there. Oops, sorry. It's okay now, she said. And Zombie, your report. On the ask, did you guys see Richard Branson? He did it. He went really high in the sky. Congratulations, dipshit.
Yeah,
I did not. I didn't see that.
They went up.
You gotta think. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just checking sound settings. Go ahead.
I think they only went like 50 miles up or something like that.
Missed it by that much.
Not that too much. But it was all a success and this and that, and everything went great, and the stock prices dropped a little more.
Well, I was going to say, it takes some big kahunas there to go, hey, everybody in the world, I know that millionaires just died doing stupid shit in a vehicle that wasn't actually thoroughly tested. Anybody else want to try? I got some tickets. Let's go. Oh my God.
Okay.
These people.
For you.
So yeah, I can't imagine that the stocks didn't drop with him boldly trying to go. We're already been in the middle of this other controversy, which again we all know is manufactured bullshit. Certainly people apparently died from what we're told, or they got shipped off to the island, but they're not here anymore, whoever. And it's caused a bunch of stories to go through. And, you would think maybe he doesn't have all the social media that we have, but somebody could have nudged him and get, hey, Rich, you might want to chill with the fucking tickets, idiot. Fuck. But hey, you go, you launch yourself. Anyway.
So I found that video of
I
the
see.
giant squid in the whale's mouth. I dropped it.
Well, that's gnarly.
Go wrapped around the top of the whale's head. It has it in its mouth, but that tentacle goes all the way up to the top and wraps over the top. So that's a big squid.
Yeah. A little floss will knock that right out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm afraid to even try to show it right now with the lagginess that we're dealing with until we get things kind of settled. So it might be a video we show on our video show later this afternoon.
Yeah. But yeah, I've never before seen, no, at least never that I'd seen before. They're claiming it's the very first footage ever. But I think I saw something in 2000.
I saw a couple go by when I was looking for this one, though. I didn't look at them, but they were talking about like that one in 2006. Oh, damn, what did I do? Hello?
Hello?
Everything blinked. Okay.
I didn't do it.
That's weird. No, I don't think you did that. What would have done that? Really, that's disconcerting because, like, just my computer blinked. Oh, I bet there's a cat down here on the power button on the floor in the strip. Ah, look at that. So if I suddenly disappear, we can all blame Ripley. Get off of that. I got to go deal with this. She's going to wind up turning me off. Let me go move her. You guys talk.
They mostly come out at night. Mostly. Is that where he got Ripley from? Or was it Believe It or Not? Not really sure.
I thought it was from Alien.
What's up, Chad?
Yeah,
Good morning,
that was Alien. They mostly come out at night. Mostly. What's going on, Trav?
Just time to make the coffee.
Yes, actually, it was from Alien. I heard your question as I walked around to the front of my table and I started moving the cat around and trying to put a little protective barrier over that switch so they don't land on it. Because it has happened before. That's why I thought about it. I knew that it might be the problem. But yes, you were correct, Zach, from Alien. Now, that being said, it as well could have come from Mr. Ripley's tales. I used to be quite the fan, quite the aficionado of Ripley's, believe it or not. What's up, Travis?
Hey, gentlemen. Listen,
Hi.
I put the link in from yesterday's 5.5 hour stream, right? There's really 3 writers that were just fantastic interviews, right? And I got to tell you about this one. How's my volume, first of all? Because I got to talk a little bit quick. It's still early here. How's my volume?
You're good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this writer gets in and she and I start talking, and it was a great conversation, right? And then there was like this lull in the conversation. So I thought to myself, I'm going to see what this does. I have David Weiss's Hoax, the hardcover Hoax book that he put together. And it says, at the bottom, the tagline is, "What if your entire life is a lie?" And then, it has all of his memes that he made up, right? I said, look at that. Look in the pouch in the seat in front of you. There's a book. I said, take a look through there and see if there's anything that strikes your fancy, right? And so, and then at that point, I decided that I'm never going to talk again until she says something, because she's going to be looking at stuff that's just hitting her in the face, right? So I'm driving. I have the music all the way down. I can hear her turning the pages, right? It's just like this melodramatic scene. She's just turning and it's just minutes and minutes of silence. And then I noticed that I don't hear the pages turning anymore. So then I kind of like, move my head a little bit to see her in my periphery. She doesn't have the book in her hands anymore. Her hands are on her lap or whatever, and it's totally quiet. She's not saying anything. So then I wait until like right at the end of our trip. And I said, well, our trip is almost over. I said, did you see anything in that book worth talking about? And she goes, nope. And that was it. And I was like, wow, like that was really, because no. What she did was she said in the middle of it, she said, can you tell me who put this book together? And I'm like, yeah, David Weiss. And so anyway, but the thing is that when I got back and was checking out the rest of my day through Lyft, I have a suspension on my account right now. I can't drive Lyft. I think that she complained against me or something like that, man.
What a twat. Pardon my
But it
language.
was just cinematic gold. It was just like this pregnant pause. You were just waiting, and it was so yeah. You got to check that out on the link I put in the chat.
Well, that's something.
Right?
Is there no way to appeal that kind of garbage?
I'm waiting for it because the Lyft is saying there's been actually what Lyft said is my account is suspended for unsafe driving, which I mean is not the case, obviously, because I'm the most amazing Uber driver in the world. But they said that once they go through their process, they will then send me an email to which I have I can respond to their email. So I'm just waiting for that to come my way.
That's wild, Trap.
That is. It just seems like a bit of a overreaction, but what do I know?
Well, but see, the thing is that I'm just guessing. I don't know that it was her. My first thought was that it was a troll because Vegan Smurf told me that when she was in my chat, there was a troll there saying, you're streaming while driving and you're putting people's lives in danger. I'm going to call this in or whatever. So that was my first thought, was that it was some troll. But then I was thinking out through the rest of the day, I was like, wait a minute, maybe she got like really personally offended and just like lashed out. So, I mean, I ultimately, I have no idea. I don't know if Lyft is going to tell me what the identity of the complaint is,
So stupid.
Nonetheless, check out the Ubercast. It's amazing, guys. Hey, Walt, was there any were there any interviewers when you were on, or was I just hanging out with my
You
friend
had
CJ?
a friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I never did. I did miss when he first got in, or when I got there, he was already in, so I missed his name. And y'all were just jacking up with each other. It was great watching y'all cut up. Him giving you shit was awesome.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a lively one for sure.
And then
All right.
we were having a conversation about guitar there in the chat. I'm trying to remember who I was chatting with, but there were a few people in there, and I'm terrible with names till I get to know you better. So, but yeah, we got off onto guitar and different stuff, and yeah, it was fun. Had a good time. I was mid guitaring anyway. I was learning let's say not learning, perfecting a solo I've been working on, trying to get down. And I'm one of those people who want it to be great. Go ahead.
You got any Steely Dan repertoire in your arsenal?
don't. I had learned damn it. It's the guitar line that everybody hears and goes, "Oh, that's fucking amazing." Really in the year, I had worked on that riff. And way too early in my career of guitar playing to try to even know how to play that. Like, that's one of those lines, like Jeff Skunk Baxter, he is a guitar phenomena. And that line he played on that thing is pretty amazing. And it's got this funky, groovy, like if you're not that kind of player, you just can't pick it up and to get it. I mean, I can hit, or I say I can. 25 years ago, I could hit the notes, but they didn't sound anything like it was supposed to. So it's one that, like, that's a band I always think, yeah, one day I'll go back and try to work out some of their stuff.
Yeah, it was really funny. I had another writer in my car the other day, and we were talking, and it was a young kid, right? And he said that he was a musician. I'm like, oh yeah, what do you play? He's like, oh, I play mostly jazz. Da, 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 da. I'm like, hey, have you ever heard of Steely Dan? He's like, no. So I said, well, check this out. And I picked, what song did I pick? Babylon Sisters. And so I played it for him. And I said, what'd you think? He's like, that was okay. I'm like, are you kidding me? I said, who's your favorite musician? And he said somebody. I'm like, do you know who your favorite musician's favorite band is? He's like, no. I'm like, Steely Dan. Like, you got to know these people.
And I screwed up totally. I know I said Skunk Baxter, didn't I? That wasn't who it was. It was Elliot.
It wasn't Becker.
No, it was actually Elliot Randall. I knew there was a guest guitarist that played on that song. It wasn't actually Walt. I knew, don't get me wrong, amazing guitar player. But yeah, I knew it was a guest, and I was thinking it was Jeff Skunk Baxter. It was Elliot Randall, who actually was a session guitarist on that song.
We wouldn't have called you out, man. We would have just taken your word for it.
Yeah, I know. That's why I want to get it right, because I should have known that. And that's why I went and looked it back up, because I was like, something is not feeling right. I don't think it was actually Jeff, which he's phenomenal. Again, one of the greats.
Are we having commercials?
We ought to be. That's the plan anyway.
They would be playing now.
Would they already?
Yeah.
You're never, ever, ever, ever going to feel like doing the things you need to do in order to have what you want. You're always going to need to push yourself. You're always going to need to parent yourself. So what is the net advice on this? What is the bottom line? The bottom line is no one's coming. No one. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to tell you to turn the TV off. No one's coming to tell you to get out the door and exercise. Nobody's coming to tell you to apply for that job that you've always dreamt about. Nobody's coming to write the business plan for you. It's up to you. And because you're only ever going to do the things that feel like doing right now, that feel good right now, unless you understand that you've got to parent yourself, you've got to push yourself, you're not going to make your dreams come true.
Extendivite, a 7-herb combination made from garlic, cayenne, hawthorn, bilberry, ginkgo biloba, valerian, and milk thistle. Extendivite feeds our body with the right nutrients to keep us healthy. Just listen to what Arthur has to say.
I'm going to tell you what a great product you have. I had used this about 10 years ago after I had congestive heart failure. And it
sounds like shit.
got me going for the last
I can't believe they're playing this. It sounds
I
like junk.
had heart trouble again. So I placed another order because this was the only thing that ever worked. I just wanted to let you know that you have a great product.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Once in a decade, a true story comes along that remembers the future. After 6 Amazon bestsellers, I have completed the epic Birth Trilogy, a true story of Earth. By reading the Birth Trilogy, you will journey with the characters from the origin of Earth to its final destiny in a white-knuckle ride that combines the intrigue of Tom Clancy with the epic scope of Prometheus and Interstellar. You will learn more about the purpose of life, the mystery of death, and the true nature of your soul than you thought possible. The Birth Trilogy is now available on Amazon and Kindle. The audio version is a free bonus when you buy the paperback, so even if you're not a great reader, don't worry about it. I read it for you. Use the Amazon app today and buy the Birth Trilogy, spelled Bearth, or search for my name. I'm Brooks Agnew.
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are TFR, your protection from deception.
This is the American Forces Vietnam Network.
Yeah, well, that sounded like garbage. What in the hell is going on with this thing? Welcome back. This is the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. And this is sort of a gimme show. This is just one of those that, we're here technically, but not much beyond that.
Bender's got our back, he said, as he falls asleep. Yeah. The silent whisper. He's actually mewling, but you don't hear it. It's the silent killer.
So, how much do you think it pays to live in a Mars simulator for a year?
I don't know.
A Mars simulator. Well, there's a surprisingly large or a surprisingly small amount of oxygen on Mars. So if you're going to simulate that, I would hope you're going to pay pretty decent because you're not going to last long. Mars is a pretty harsh environment.
Well, it's not actually living on Mars. It's just a simulation.
Like a candy bar, like the Mars bar. You're living on a Mars bar? What are they simulating if not the planet Mars?
Well, I'm sure you'll be living in like a biodome type thing that does have oxygen and
so this
probably
is
a
like
toilet.
Mars, except for the environment and the temperature and the scenery.
Yeah.
So
well, what's like Mars is you don't get to talk to your family, you don't get to talk to friends. Yeah, for a full year. It's worse than prison. Prisoners get visits, right?
Some.
Most of them. So $60,000 you'd make. They'd pay you $10 an hour for 16 hours a day for a full year.
8 hours I get to go home?
No.
No? So what changes? What's different after 17 hours and is different after 16 hours? Did they decide, you know what, fuck you, we're not going to pay you for these hours? You're sleeping in the Mars environment, so that doesn't count. You have to have eyes open, fully conscious in order to collect a paycheck.
Yeah, what if I only sleep 3 hours a night?
Then I'll be clocked out. I'll be watching TV, calling the folks, chilling, getting Pizza Hut delivered. Hey, you didn't pay me for
Slipping
this.
out behind a dune for a fatty.
What's the over-under on these 3 people in a 1,700 or 4 people in a 1,700 square foot 3D printed simulation of a Mars base? What's the over-under that we have like a what's that movie with Jack Nicholson? The Shining type event happens. Oh.
I think Tony needs $10 an hour too. So,
oh my goodness, they're like doing this for real. So if you have a problem, somebody's dying, somebody's having a brain aneurysm, let's say. There's a 22-minute delay, so mission control won't even hear about the problem until 22 minutes after it occurred because they want to simulate Mars so much.
they want to simulate Mars, so it's going to take 25 minutes to get the ambulance there. Mars style.
So it's a Navy microbiologist, emergency medical physician, a research scientist. That's all they say. So what's the difference between a Navy microbiologist and a research scientist?
Maybe the research scientists researches macrobiology.
Okay. And a structural engineer. Oh, wow. Yep. They're all going to kill each other.
So I did the deep dive, sort of relative deep dive on The Shining, like breakdowns of The Shining and the cool stuff with the, carpet pattern matching the launch pad in Canaveral, and you get Danny standing up with the. I've seen some really cool breakdowns. I watched one called EYE Scream, I Scream, and it was like 2 hours, and it had some of the most mind-blowing shit that I apparently missed over the past 8 years or whatever it is.
I had a recent one like that. What was this one's thing? What was the tripping?
And apparently I missed it. Apparently it was on 237, but somehow I missed it because I'm pretty sure I watched 237.
There was a lot thrown at you in that movie, and some of them were so over brain breaking that they stood out as the ones you remember, like the carpet or the Indian history, which stood out for me. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, you know how you can play Dark Side of the Moon to Wizard of Oz, and they say it's all supposed to line up and be almost, the accompaniment, and you can play it that way. Well, apparently you can do the same thing with Abbey Road to The Shining, but to make it more impactful. And they're trying to say this is the genius of Kubrick, and I have a hard time.
Maxwell Silver Hammer, I guess would fit. Yeah.
So what they do is they play The Shining, right? And they'll put it in the editor for your video editor. Normal, here's The Shining movie. Then they take a second copy of The Shining movie and they put it in the editor, and then they flip it, backwards. And then they overlay the two.
Wait, what?
Check this out. So then you're watching The Shining frontwards. You're watching The Shining backwards, right? And so they've got it so you can see both. They lowered the opacity on the upper one so you can see both coming through. And then they play fucking the Beatles' Abbey Road over top of it. Now, I have zero argument to the fact that Stanley Kubrick was a genius, but I have a hard time believing that this genius of a director took his film, ran it forward and backward, and timed it out to Abbey Road. But if he didn't, then the artistic interpretation, the way those three elements flow together is absolutely mind-boggling. I highly recommend. Check out Ice Cream. Check out the way they do this crazy. They call it the Red Rum edition, right? Because you're playing it forward and backwards. It's kind of cool.
And backwards, right?
Yeah, it's a great name. I love it.
Well, that's why I was unmuting. I'm like, with the whole Red Rum thing being a huge theme reversed in the mirror, I could see him maybe doing something like this. Well, the one that broke me, and I know I shared it when it did, was the breakdown theory of it all being Shelley Long, that it was all her character. Jack was perfectly normal, sane, trying to be a good dad, and she was the psycho that was seeing all these things happening. And if you think and go back through, she is the one running through the hotel, seeing the bear costume guy and seeing the blood come down out of the elevator and seeing all the crazy shit go on. She's the one that reads all work and no plays, on the paper. It's mind blowing. And not just those obvious things that you would go, oh, yeah, that would make sense. It's stuff like placement of stickers on walls and placement of light switches that have been moved. And dude, to move a light switch on a set is a
Oh, I think you just got muted there, Walter. I believe a kitty cat must have stepped on the.
that is Bender. Bender is overly I don't know what his deal is this morning. He is just needy as hell. He's all over me, and then he does weird things. He's biting on my chin, and I don't know what's going on with my buddy. What's the matter, man? Anyway, he's chilling. Anyway, but that idea of that, in one scene, a light switch next to the freezer is at this height, and the next scene, in the same scene, the next cut is in a different height, and it's okay, why? Why in the fuck would Kubrick make them move the light switch? Because it's the only way this shot happened. There's no angle thing. There's no perspective thing. They fucking moved the light switch from one scene to another. And there's other things like chandeliers and different things, the TV that's playing that's not plugged in. And dude, they're all of a sudden you're going, holy shit, it was Shelley Long all the time. I mean, Shelley Duvall all the time, not Jack Nicholson. It's pretty nuts. I don't know the name of the channel, or I could go find it, I'm sure, or go just look that up. Shining was all in her head or whatever. It's out there. It's pretty crazy. And the fact that we're talking about a movie that came out in 1980, still, if that doesn't speak to the level of whatever the fuck he was doing, then yeah, pretty amazing dude.
Did you ever see that deathbed confession that people were passing around saying it was Stanley Kubrick?
I did.
Yeah, I did. Back in the middle of all that heat of us all trying to figure out about the moon landing, I watched it and knew immediately that wasn't Kubrick.
Yeah, I didn't buy it at the time. I didn't know it wasn't him. I wasn't a huge fan of Kubrick or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just didn't ring true when I heard
the way he talked about things didn't feel right.
Yeah.
Like his mannerisms is what gave it away to me. That's all that movie that went around that same era of and we talked about it again recently, of the girl who went to the edge of the dome on the snow ski and got lost and left a note and all that bullshit. That thing, the way it was being played, how those people were reading, it was just so obviously a put on, made up thing to me. And everybody's like, oh no, it's got to be real. The Earth's moving up. And that was 2015. I saw that and was already going, no, this ain't right. There's something going on here. So I guess because I've watched movies and broken them down literally since birth, my mom had me watching crazy shit. And I've always wanted to know how and when and why they do these things in movies. So it just makes me, I guess, hypersensitive to those kinds of things. And now it's even more insane with the deep fake and the voices and all the shit they can do. If they tried to pull that off now, it might not be so easy to discern. I don't know. I'm waiting though, keeping my eye open for the new. Suddenly we've got this great reveal, but where was it 4 years ago? Kind of thing.
So did you hear what the World Health Organization has finally caught on to? Aspartame isn't good for you.
Oh.
Yeah, I heard this. What?
Yeah.
Turns out aspartame's bad for your entire genetic makeup. Really strange. Seems to be unzipping your genetics. Weird.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
But I thought aspartame was because sugar was so bad, and this was the alternative.
I thought aspartame was supposed to be good for you.
It's got to look
now I'm not crazy. Now it's okay for me to say stuff like this, I guess. But 20 years ago, when I was trying to tell my sister this,
I know. I
was
cousins,
insane.
My nephews, nieces, all of them. Yeah.
This was the one that sent me over the edge as the crazy conspiracy theorist. Before I was just into, JFK wasn't killed by Lee Harvey Oswald, stuff like that. Then the aspartame thing hit, and of course my sister and her husband drank nothing but Diet Coke. Nothing but. And I kept telling them, hey, do you know why you're overweight? It's because that aspartame is doing horrible things to your body. They call it diet, but that doesn't mean that. Like, haven't you noticed that all these people that are overweight like you kind of gain more weight from drinking Diet Coke? Have you noticed that at all? But no, I was a crazy conspiracy theorist, of course.
Of course.
But now, and then it was like 5 years ago, she realized that it was bad for her. And of course, she knew it the whole time. That's what she told me. Oh, yeah, I've always known aspartame was bad for me. I swear, it's like the memory of a goldfish so many people have.
The thing that kills me is, you know, in the 70s, it was saccharin. That was the miracle cure that was going to make us all skinny. Here, have a tab. And what was the other little thing they put it in? The candies, the AIDS candies, AIDS, little funky, horrible tasting, but you wanted it because you were a kid. Candies.
That was a bad name to pick.
Right? It's the only there.
They marketed, it was a gum, as I recall, or they made a gum line, and
they had a gum line.
They marketed it as a weight
like
loss.
Little chewy candy. Yeah. Oh yeah. It was all about good stuff. Like, here you go. We're going to save you, make you skinny.
Get AIDS
and then within
lose weight.
A few
it's
years,
like,
the saccharin was killing people. They told us all quit, and here comes the new one. You know, the new sweetener, and it's like, really, y'all are going to go? Oh well, that first one was killing people, but for sure they've got it worked out this time. That's the thing that kills me over and over and over. How many times can you get punched in the fucking face before you finally go, maybe I should stand here and have my face in front of his fist? I don't get it. Why are people so fucking dumb? Sorry, it's one of those mornings for me.
Go, Walter. Ram.
And then how about the next one? What was the Splenda shit? What's that? Acetylene potassium. Oh, that sounds healthy. Acetylene. There you go. First part sounds great and fun.
Oh my goodness.
But let's keep trying. They'll get it right eventually. That third arm, that's just extra grip for that can. Oh, these people. Forgive me, I'll stop ranting. Bender finally settled down. He's calming me down with his purrs.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, Andy?
I've been in the background for a while, working on a PowerPoint actually for my first YouTube video for an electrical video. So afterward, I might want to just kind of show it to everybody and see what you guys think. I would actually love
to show it this afternoon. We could premiere it right there on Have No Fear.
I'm not ready for that yet. I've been working on it since the stream started, so.
Yeah, your first video. Wow, man. I still remember my first video. It was just me sitting in front of a chair explaining, that there's a lot of lies going on out there. And I'm going to start my channel to test and make observations on the shape of the earth. Yeah, and it was just me sitting there putting my face out there and saying my full name and all that kind of stuff. Just saying, yep, I'm a real human being and this is what I believe. And yeah, that's crazy. That was 7 years ago, 8 years ago.
Yeah, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist too, so I don't want to just put something out that's not going to be suitable and acceptable for at least myself.
Yeah, get 100 and something videos under your belt. You'll forget about all that.
Well, I mean, okay. Anyways, I heard about this a long time ago, but didn't hear about it again until just recently. I don't know if this is actually real or not because I found it off of a comedy website, E-Bombs World. I'm not sure if you guys have ever heard of that website or not. It's just all comedy and satire.
Yeah, my brother loves. He always turns me on to videos or little comments or stuff from over there. Yeah.
Right, but there is some actual news articles they put on here that you can actually reference. They go back to other websites and things like that. And this article, the title is "Rowing Across the Pacific Ocean Might Not Be the Best Idea Right Now." And it's basically, they have videos of these people doing it. They're leaving from Monterey, California, going to Hawaii, which in my opinion, I don't know if that's possible, even though I've heard other people say that they've done it before. But
oh yeah, it's definitely, well, according to his story at least, that's how Hawaii was inhabited, all the way up to the coast of Alaska where we have the Inuits. But yeah, the DNA has shown that most of these people came from the what's that area? Indonesia, maybe something like that. But in rafts, and traversed the Pacific Ocean in rafts. They found, what's the island with all the heads on it?
Easter Island.
Easter Island.
Easter Island, yeah, they had found that island. I mean, they didn't just go into, from there to Hawaii. They did like the whole South Pacific. This in canoes, rafts, not big giant ships with big tall sails and all that stuff. They claim that's how these people did this.
Yeah, it's just that I've been out in the middle of the ocean before, and I've seen how big the swells get, and all it takes is for one swell to get a little too big, and you're done.
Well, I'm not saying a bunch of them probably didn't die doing this. It's probably very dangerous and all that and whatnot. But yeah, supposedly they were some of the best sailors in ancient times, as far as being able to travel from point to point in the ocean and find their way. Gammy did a whole bunch of research onto this because she's so in love with Hawaii and all the history and culture and where they came from and yada yada yada. Yeah, it's really neat. But yeah, supposedly, according to the story, they were sailing these in little wooden canoes they built themselves.
I'm just going to go ahead and post this into the YouTube chat and let everyone kind of take a look at it, because there's actual videos of them. Oh, we've been at sea for 7 days, and I'm not sure if people are aware of this. Even if it's cold weather, you're still baking in the sun. I don't know. Sounds treacherous to me.
A little bit.
I know you want to know what you're doing and where you're going and all that kind of stuff, because right out there off the coast of San Diego, I'm pretty sure, there's like an underwater mountain. I forget how many miles off the coast, but they say the waves there get they're averaging 60 feet, because there's an underwater mountain that causes them all to break right there. And that's where they recorded the 100-foot waves and this and that. They take people out there to those nut jobs that want to try to surf these giant waves like that.
Yeah, but that's fun. I used to be a big fan. I never could do it. I tried a few times over in the Texas coastline, which is about as big a wave as I've ever been around. Well, some pre-hurricanes off the coast of Florida. There were some decent ones, but people in the water as the hurricane was coming in, I guess. Anyway, yeah, surfing would be nuts with that kind of stuff regularly happening.
Oh, and by the way, when you're speaking about surfing is disgusting. If you actually look at the coastline, when you're at the coast, like in California or anywhere around the United States, and then all of a sudden you leave 30 miles away from the coast, and all of a sudden the water changes color. You're swimming in literal human feces when you're out in the surf. It's disgusting.
Yeah, after I saw a aerial view of Lake Michigan, the southwest corner of it, right there by Chicago, northwest Indiana, all the mills and refineries and everything. Lake Michigan, the water's beautiful in most places, but right around there, it's brown compared. You can actually see the line.
Aren't humans neat?
Yeah, you can see the brown side and then the blue side, and you can look down it, and it's very apparent that there's a lot of nasty stuff in that water.
Well, guys, we're fastly approaching a break, and I've just noticed something in the chat. I'd like to throw some extra love to our friend I'm the going through some things this morning. First, we found out, I believe, let me go find it again. I had it highlighted, and now, of course, it's gone. Damn it, I am so sorry. And I had it highlighted a second ago. Anyway, I believe a nephew.
Inconceivable.
In ICU and having some health issues, and if I'm wrong, can't find it. I think what happened is when I closed my chat, everything above went away. Anyway, sending you lots of love, because apparently I'm just found a cat that had been hurt on the road, or actually probably killed, it looks like. So I'm so sorry. I hate when I see that, and that happens. On a more positive note, yes, Liz, thank you for Bender's, or saying you found the video with Bender. He has big paws. He's going to be a big boy. He is Spot made over. I believe he will be just as big as Spot. So I'll have to get the extra big crate to drop him in the post for you. I did share the video in the Telegram chat with everybody. Just forgive me. I'm a cat nut. I can't help it. But you guys send that extra love. Send it out to everyone you know. Send it to everybody in the chat. Everybody's got something going on somewhere. And man, this world makes it tough sometimes. Spreading ourselves in so many directions with distractions and crap. So send that good energy where it needs to go instead of letting them suck it up off of you. That being said, we are fastly approaching a break with no break music. So most likely it'll just pop in as it did previously on time. Who knows? But you are listening to the Ironworx here on Truth Frequency Radio. Josh, Walt, Zach, Andy B in the house, Trav lurking around somewhere. We'll be back, I hope, right after this.
Or after this.
No, definitely after this.
Maybe not.
After
this.
I
got some stupid stuff to talk to when we get back.
After this.
This.
That was the end.
So we're officially 30 seconds late on commercials right now. That's how bad it is right now.
Censorship
come on.
Is becoming an ever-growing problem in today's modern media. From the mainstream to YouTube and Google, the information you're looking for is buried by official narratives and propaganda. This is why TFR is 100% uncensored, unregulated, and listener-supported. The shows on TFR are not micromanaged by the station, and our hosts are free to speak their minds however they please. As such, the views and opinions expressed on our station are of those who make them. If you happen to hear anything offensive on TFR, please send us an email to toughtitty@tfrlive.com, and we'll be happy to tell you that we really don't give a damn. We stand for freedom of speech and non-censorship. If you also stand for free speech, you can go to tfrlive.com/signup and sign up for a TFR supporter pass and help us in our mission to keep the airwaves uncensored and unregulated. TFR Live, your uncensored and unregulated protection from deception.
The county has refused to produce the network routers. We want the routers, Sonny. The county refused to produce the network routers. Wendy, we got to get those routers, please. The routers. Come on, Kelly, we can get those routers. Those routers. Oh, if you got those routers, what that will show. And they don't want to give up the routers. They are fighting like hell. Why are these commissioners fighting not to give the routers? How simple could it be? That will tell the truth. And they don't want to give up the routers. What are they trying to hide? And I say it, and I'll say it, because the easiest way of cheating is to throw them away. That's easier. The county has refused to produce the network routers. We want the routers, Sonny. The county refused to produce the network routers. Wendy, we got to get those routers, please. It's so unfair. It's so unfair. It's so ridiculous. I'll be honest. Look, we all like to win. If I lost this election, I could handle it pretty easily. 124, sir. You're going to win. And I say, wait a minute. I just won 6 months ago. The big lie, they call it. Those claims are unproven. And knowing what happened in the election is a good thing, not a bad thing. It's a good thing, not a bad thing. It's a good thing. The county has refused to produce the network routers. We want the routers, Sonny. The county refused to produce the network routers. Wendy, we got to get those routers, please. order. I get along with Putin because that's a good thing, not a bad thing.
TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Good morning.
Or something like that.
Yeah, I was going to try that too. Everything's just a little off. It's like my whole soundboard is playing slow, so everything's dropped down in tone. It's crazy.
We made it back though, so in spite of the techie issues. On the way out, I'm sorry. Welcome back, everybody. It is Ironworx, Truth Frequency Radio. Josh, Walt, Zack, Andy B. On the way out, we were sending some extra love. I just saw again Laura, Axel, Walking Axel in chat, still having some time with her mom, going through some health issues. So I am definitely knowing that and appreciating that one. Dealing with a loved one that is sick is very hard. And our buddy Jeremy, I saw in chat there, dealing with his dad. Everybody, again, as I said, has things going on. It's just awesome that you people in chat are able to keep up with it so much better than me. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. It blows my mind to see all this care and love going back and forth. So thank y'all for sending all that love to the people who need it. And shout out to Gray Hulk and Ona Plain for turning me on to something I was unaware of. The Joanna Connor Band. So I have now subbed up to the channel with that link you shared in chat. I will share it again. Some really great slide, guitar, blues, amazing stuff. Thank you for that. I may even put that as the show description today if I remember that. That's why I leave this open. Sometimes I don't. But there's the link in the chat if you missed it from on a plane a moment ago. And
So I
trying to
found
share.
one.
There we go. Go ahead. Trying to mute up too.
This is from the BBC. This is one of the dumbest things I've seen this year, I'd have to say. So MSCHF, whatever that means. It's some company. Not sure what it stands for. But they made a microscopic bag smaller than a grain of salt. It's a handbag that sold for $63,750. Now, that's a handbag that when you buy it, it comes with a microscope. So you could actually see the thing. It's got a Louis Vuitton symbol on it, even though Louis Vuitton has nothing to do with it. And yeah, $63,000, 50,000 pounds at an auction.
Yeah,
Smaller than a grain of salt.
Ian got it right. They had to make it that size because in order to hold all of his money.
Man, I'm in the wrong business. If people are spending that kind of money on stupid shit like that, man.
Hello, hello, hello. What ho?
There he is.
Travis.
Back again.
Hey, sorry about that drop call last time. Did I get to finish my thing, or did you not hear what I said?
Oh Jesus, that was minutes ago. I can't remember.
All right, I'll just repeat what I was saying if that's okay.
Do it again.
I don't know. Okay.
Well,
So
we
one of
did
my-
hear you giving out all your credit card information and all of your, like your social security number and all that kind of stuff.
That's the black card. Yeah, that's the black card from Uber. Yep. So one of my riders the other day, Queen Christina. So Queen Christina and I usually start out by saying, okay, we have 10 minutes together in this ride. What are we going to talk about that's going to change the world? And so she popped off social. I can never say this freaking word. Social security reform, right? So she wanted to talk about that system. So we had a conversation about that. And then usually if I feel like the vibe is right, I say, hey, listen, if you want to ever hire me outside of this platform, you know, I can give you my information. And because the thing is, like, if you enjoy this, like, I want to be the driver that they go, I'd rather have Travis driving me than some random guy, because I already know that I'm going to enjoy my time on the trip, right? So that's my idea. So I said, if you ever need me to do it. So she needed me at another point. So I went and picked her up for a second ride. So in the second ride, I was talking to her about how, you know, the show's my vision for the show, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I need a secretary. I need, you know, da, 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 da. So she texted me last night. She's like, hey, it's Queen Christina. So I said, hey, what's up? She said, do you still need a secretary? So then I responded, well, yeah, I do. But you realize it's pro bono, right? Like, this is like community service, because this is all anyway. So I haven't heard back from her just yet, but I thought it was interesting that she contacted me. She's like, hey, do you still need a secretary? So if Queen Christina is going to help me out with editing and putting my stuff together, that's going to be amazing.
Well, I wish you nothing but the best of luck. No,
Yes, sir.
I get the distinct impression she assumed that you were being backed by money. That'd be my guess. And she thought it was going to be a paid gig.
I don't know. Like, I'm an Uber driver. I don't know, but whatever. No. Hey,
you know why? Because I got a question for you, man.
Yeah.
So you ended one of your streams because you said that one of your passengers was willing to go to lunch with you, even though she was married and all that. How did that whole thing?
4 hours later, man, it was like a scene from Before Sunrise. It was just an enjoyable time. Absolutely platonic, absolutely straight across the board, but it was so fun, so enjoyable. Yeah, for sure.
I hope that goes well.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to insinuate anything at all. I'm just asking how it went. Because.
Oh, no, that's fine. But you did bring up the point that she was married. So I wanted it to be perfectly clear that everything was on the up and up.
Right.
But I will tell you this. Do you guys know who started Under Armour?
No.
Okay, some guy, I don't know his name, but he's like a Jeff Bezos now, right? So he's a local Baltimore guy, and he had this idea for whatever Under Armour was, and now he's who he is, and he's making tons of money, tons and tons. So we were walking around this woman and I were walking around historic Fells Point, and we came across the Sagamore Hotel. Now, there's a Sagamore rye whiskey that's a Baltimore-based whiskey. And so then I was like, oh, there's Sagamore. This is interesting. So we go into this 5-star, just this posh hotel that's massive. And we're walking down the hallway, and we can see the pictures of the hotel from days past and whatever. It's like this historic building. And we go to the bar. We go and sit at the bar. We order our drinks, and we're talking with Kenneth, the bartender, who made me an amazing whiskey sour. It was so good. And we were like, what's the story behind this building? Like, what was this? Was this always a hotel? He's like, oh, no, this was the immigration port here in Baltimore. So if you're coming into the country, this is where you came in, right? So this building's got tons of history. I'm like, well, how did it become a hotel? He's like, you ever hear of Under Armour? I'm like, yeah. He's like, that guy's got his main building right across the harbor. So he was looking out his window at this dilapidated building that was falling apart, and he decided to make a hotel out of it, and boom, here we are. This place is absolutely gorgeous. Can you believe that?
Yeah, that's pretty but too much money.
Right. I just got money to throw away, but it's got
That's a good way to throw it away, though. Yeah, let's fix up stuff because we don't want to look at dilapidated stuff. So I'll fix it. I'm all for people spending their money on stuff like that. It's better than a $63,000 microscopic handbag that you need a microscope to even see the thing. Yeah, that I could see. I'm all for people doing stuff like that. That's awesome. So I found this one. All right. NASA gets amazing new results generating oxygen on Mars. So if you don't know, Mars is mostly made up of CO2. And I know there's this other planet, right? Planet called Earth that's having issues with too much CO2. Isn't that the story?
Well, I'm sorry to chime in, but I thought Mars was made up of CGI.
Well, that too. But the atmosphere is CO2, they say.
Right.
So they're taking their scrubbers, which pulls one of the whatever molecules out, right? And turns it into a source of oxygen. Pulls one of the oxygen out, so it makes carbon monoxide, which is even worse than CO2. So great job there. But it's making oxygen. So if they're doing this on Mars to fix why, I mean, we have a problem here on Earth with too much CO2, they claim. Why aren't we scrubbing the air and making more oxygen here? I mean, wouldn't that make it so we wouldn't have to go to Mars to save humanity?
Okay, so what you're saying is that they have a way to make Mars habitable by cleaning up its atmosphere, and then you're saying, why don't you just do that here on Earth and cut out that stupid trip a million miles away that's never going to happen anyway? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, if we can terraform and turn these dangerous CO2 that's causing global warming, so
Man,
why
they
don't we?
They don't want monkeys like you thinking outside the box, man. Stop talking sense, man.
With that kind of logic,
I mean,
there'd be no need for taxes.
Exactly, right? Which is why they're never going to do it. Which is why I don't think automated taxis and whatnot, or even cars. Okay, go with me if you haven't thought about this, right? Most of the state's revenue comes from, or even I'll just say, most of your local municipality's budget comes from the extortion that happens on the side of the road when a costumed pirate forces some unsuspecting person off the side of the road and writes them a claim against their person with a monetary value on it, right? So if there's traffic violations, and if that happens with speeding or reckless endangerment, whatever it is, like you can write a ticket for that. If you have a program where the car is driven automatically by AI that's absolutely safe and it's never going to make, like, you're going to lose that revenue. Like, to me, that doesn't make it, like, why would they kill the golden goose? You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Right, absolutely. But again, that's back to that first question of mine this morning. Why are people so stupid? Sorry, go.
No. I'm just going to keep ranting. It's not going to change. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I'm right there, man. I mean, I see, logic is what you're trying to use, and that doesn't. Look, Dave, I'm kind of playing catch up and chat deep inside the rabbit hole, Dave. Zach, stop it. You're using logic, and that's not allowed. So yeah, Travis, don't use logic.
David, big shout out. That was awesome last night. He was on some show, pretty big show. I think they had like 160,000 subscribers, something right around there. And they were really nice, polite guys. They were leaning more towards religion and stuff like that. There were a lot of religious people in the chat and everything, but even when they had people calling in, I didn't get to hear the whole thing. I had to go to bed last night, but dude, most of the callers knew who Dave was, had been listening to him for a while, and these weren't, these were people that listen to this show all the time, not flat earthers. But they were saying, yeah, I believe, the Bible, this and that, yada, yada, yada. One lady had said, I had never heard of Dave before, but man, he is speaking truths and this and that. And I was shocked. I don't know if there were any bad calls in there, but it seemed like every call that came in was pro flat earth.
Yeah, I was actually going to mention that exact same thing, Zach, because I listened to that on my walk last night, and I was really surprised how cordial those guys were and how cordial the callers were, except for the one lady that wanted the 3 Bitcoin without doing anything.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, it was just sort of a comical part of the show, but either way, yeah, I mean, I think Dave should go back on that show at some point. I'm pretty sure they would invite him back.
Well, yeah, I think that was his second time.
Oh, really? Okay.
Wow, he's going on the Blaze network.
Yeah.
Today,
I was just seeing that.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. Yeah, shout out the Ether Band, Dave. Come on, man. Shout out the Ether Band. Start that trend, man.
Big shout out to Daryl Davis in the chat. What are you doing up so late, brother?
I was thinking that very thing. Either he's up really late or really fucking early.
3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, California time, where he's at if he's there.
Yep. Much love to Flat Earth Farms. Definitely send some love that way.
I got to get out there again, man. I got to make a trip out there at least. For
yeah, that's something I'm trying to make happen my damn self. I really want to get out there.
Well, I'll come pick you up, bro. We'll do a road trip. I'll come pick you up.
Right?
What?
You swing through St. Louis and pick me up too. I'll help you gas.
Okay.
We're set.
Okay.
It's on. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm waking Bender up. Getting all excited.
What I can do is I can just hop, skip, and jump around to make extra money along the way before I get to you guys with Uber Eats and stuff like that. Get gas money that way.
That'd be one sweat lodge I'd really enjoy. What did you just say, Zach?
Well, you broke up, yeah.
I was just saying, is there like a certain area you have to stay within for the Uber, or can you just travel around the country and Uber all over the place?
Well, that's the entire reason why I wanted to start doing Uber rides as it was. I thought, wouldn't it be amazing if I could just drive around the country and do this? So rides that involve people, you cannot cross that imaginary geographic line per se. So I could do it with DoorDash. I could do it with any delivery where I'm taking products, not people. But here's the catch, right? So if I cross the line and go to Pennsylvania, technically because I don't have a background check in Pennsylvania, I can't drive in Pennsylvania. But there's a loophole, because if I pick someone up at BWI and take them down into Alexandria, Virginia, say, which is crossing that border, I can still pick up rides in Virginia. So I've crossed that line. So there is an allowance at one point, but then if I wanted to do it across the rest of the 50, no. That's a problem in my book. I mean, but it's not, because it's all their red tape shenanigans. You know, they make loopholes, they make allowances, but then they put restrictions and prohibitions on you in other areas. So no, you can't, as a driver at this point. It's not federal where you can go anywhere in the United States. Every state has their background check that you have to pass, and Uber is notoriously slow for processing your background check. It took me like 3 weeks to wait for them to process my background check.
It's great that gun laws have reciprocity, but apparently federal background checks don't. Weird. Or state background checks, if there's a big difference.
Hey, but Walt, I'm serious. I'm serious. I would absolutely pick you up, and we could end Josh to whatever. Like, if you want to make it happen, let's talk about doing it in like the first week of August or whatever.
I was going to say there's an energy happening I want to be around in August that Daryl and I have spoken about already. So we'll get on it out there. It would be amazing, dude. Like I said, the energy and the love that I already feel coming from out there to be in it would be beyond phenomenal. So.
Oh man, are you talking about Mount Shasta?
Well, just he was talking about doing a sweat and just having like a big energy thing happen. So we'll make it happen.
Make it happen, brother. We're gonna make it happen. All right.
Yep, for sure. And that was my main thing is I'm not going to be able to fly anymore, because I'm not going to do stupid shit to myself. So how would I do it? Would have to be a vehicle. So, and then there goes the whole thing. And look at you having a vehicle. Look, Daryl said, get here. Fucking A, brother. We're going to make it happen. An Uber vehicle.
But Veronica. Yeah, but Veronica.
Veronica, I'm sorry, my bad. No disrespect meant, lovely lady. Yeah, we're going to make it something happen for sure, guys. For damn sure. We'll have the live road trip. What's Shasta doing right now? Daryl just put something in chat. Wait, drove by Shasta a couple days ago. Wow. I know when we were going out, taking my family out, this was like 2009, 10. Oh, Lord, how long ago? And we had to go, like we went that kind of route on purpose to be able to go past and over. And like, that's when my brother-in-law realized he couldn't drive on the mountain. And I'm like, what? I can't drive a Penske truck with your house on it up and down a mountain. But yeah, I was on the lookout for Bigfoot. That was Bigfoot or any kind of like, orbs or energy or anything. Those are the things I knew about at that time going out there, and just the history of the energy there. But since that time, there was a whole thing on Twitter that Siduri, was that the name, Josh? You remember what I'm talking about? You were on those Twitter days. And he was making a place at Mount Shasta, and he had he was a doctor with money, and it was going to be like, no, maybe it was just a group I knew about that was talking about it. But yeah, there's been a lot of stuff pointing out there to Shasta since then. I would like to go now with those, things I know about. Anyway, that makes me want to go back, like, in some kind of like, is there a Wayback Machine for Twitter that you can go back to because trying to find stuff now is a joke. I went looking for something recently and it was all lined up, quite musky in there. But anyway, yeah, definitely Mount Shasta is powerful. We didn't have the time and the route because of the truck we were in and all that to go through the redwoods. My mom got to see it later after they were out there, but yeah, we didn't get to go through. That's the only thing I wanted to do on the way out there. I didn't get to do. Got to do Sedona majorly. Got to do the canyon amazingly. Went through Vegas. Okay, but yeah, that was one I had on the list, and we just couldn't make it work for the trip.
So before the break, I got some nonsense to share with everybody.
Go right ahead.
This is Sci-Tech Daily. Now this stuff just drives me mad when I hear stupid stuff like this and people buying it. The Webb Space Telescope discovers complex organic molecules in galaxy more than 12 billion light years away.
We got to use our telescope like a microscope. That's what we need to do.
Turn it around. Look in the big end.
Wait a second. Don't they say that the edge of the galaxy or the edge of the universe is 13.8 billion? So they're like looking right at the edge of it with what?
Oh yeah, the James Webb. It's amazing.
Oh my goodness.
He uses
Wait, oh wow, whoa! You just picked up something. I had a dream about the James Webb Telescope, and it was showing us something. Oh my God, what did I see? Go ahead. I'm sorry, but it's like it triggers big time, and it's major. I'll figure it out. Give me a minute. Go ahead, Zach.
evidence of complex organic molecules similar to smoke or smog in the distant galaxy shown here. The galaxy more than 12 billion light years away happens to line up almost perfectly with a second galaxy only 3 billion light years away from our perspective Earth. In this false color web image, I like that how they call it an image, the foreground galaxy is shown in blue while the background galaxy is in red. The organic molecules are highlighted in orange. It's just two circles, a blue like ball with an orangish ring around it. I mean, I can make this picture up.
Are you showing it? Because I don't have that story up.
No,
here.
I know. It's just retarded. Don't. It's dumb. So this is the most distant galaxy in which these molecules are known to exist. Okay. I want to put a clear balloon with gas in it at 70,000 feet. And I want them to tell me what gas I put in there. And how big the balloon is and how far away it is. This is just a balloon in our atmosphere. I guarantee they cannot do it without knowing the size or the distance. Either one of those two things, they're not going to be able to tell you shit.
Yeah, Zach, but this pixel was slightly pink over here. This pixel, slightly pink. And this pixel next to it, slightly more red.
And I think
without a doubt, that's CO2, and there's diamonds falling on that motherfucker right now. Anyway.
You know the assumptions that have to be made?
That's break music, gents. Believe it or not.
Wow, actual music. Look at that.
Look at that. Nice. Sort of. Anyway, stick around. We've got one more segment of the Ironworx coming up right here, Truth Frequency Radio.
Don't get the answers to do well till you get the reason. Life has a mysterious way of hanging on to all the answers and only gives them up to the people that are inspired by reasons. So reasons make the difference in how your life works out. Now, what are some of the reasons for doing well? Let's go through a quick list called Reasons for Doing Well. First is personal reasons. Some people do well for recognition. Some people do well for respect. Some people do well for the way it makes them feel. They love the feeling of being a winner. Those are good reasons. I have some millionaire friends that keep working 10, 12 hours a day, making more millions. And it's not because they need the money. It's because they need the joy and the satisfaction and the pleasure that comes from being a constant winner. And see, it's not just the money anyway. It's the journey, not the money.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. September 2018. Extendivite works in keeping my blood pressure in the normal range. I've been using Extendivite for many years now. May 2018. Great product. I use regularly and I rarely get sick. March 2018. This product has relieved what appeared to be angina pain in my chest and shortness of breath after climbing stairs. I'm quite happy about it. February 2018. My husband, son, and I have been using this product for a few months now, and we have noticed an improvement in our joints and blood pressure. Tell us your story. Get Extendivite today. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
For 5,000 years, the world was ruled with wooden ships by one man. 242 years ago, a small group of free men crafted a new nation built on liberty and freedom. Global elites have been fighting to destroy this new nation called America ever since. Based on actual events, Charm of Favor tells a true story of how they corrupted the election system. They infiltrated federal agencies and murdered witnesses, judges, and even presidents to keep from being caught. Now, the largest and wealthiest crime syndicate the world has ever known has been drawn out of the shadows. They have killed hundreds of Americans and recently attempted to assassinate half our congressmen. Still, they escape arrest through an almost supernatural charm of favor. Read Charm of Favor and be prepared to open your eyes to what may lie just around the corner. Charm of Favor is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
No hype, no fear.
You're listening to Truth Frequency Radio.
We are TFR.
I guess we're back.
Yep.
Well, I was hoping maybe you were going to pull up some kind of miracle music thing. I knew you were trying to make it happen. So I was trying to be as cool on it. I know John would have been crawling out of his skin. So real quick before we get...
Stephen Hawking was playing.
Oh,
I just don't know
either.
if anybody could hear it. I don't know.
Oh, Carrie did. Carrie Woolley heard it. So apparently they're hearing it. We're not. So you're on a good track here. All right, Liz, I dropped something in chat for you. So apparently Liz had terrible dreams last night. Klaus Schwab being a starring creature there. So I sent you the How to Fight Monsters and Win. I did remember the weirdness of whatever you triggered with that James Webb story. Apparently in one of my astral catapultings, I flew up and was looking through the apparatus and seeing it like these little weird beams, pieces of like particles of light. I can't even explain it because, you know, it was that other state that lets you see things we can't really put words to. And really weird, like the assembly process, like almost, I guess, what people talk about when they see the ELF engines on DMT, the machines at the base of our world. That was kind of the feeling it gave me. That's why it was such a, when you said that and it brought it back, it was like, oh my God, that was major stuff I remember seeing. So trying to explain it makes no sense now. I typed it there in chat as best I could. Anyway, yeah, definitely needing to do a little psychonauting, I believe. I keep getting nods and pictures and all kinds of encouragements for some psychedelic adventuring, so that needs to happen soon. Before Logan Cook, Darren Chat, lost his uncle yesterday, so definitely extra love heading your way, Logan. Sorry to hear that. Definitely a lot of changes here on the realm. I think some people maybe just getting to the other side, maybe to give us some more energy that we need to get through this next little whatever it is, death throes they're going through, I suppose, with all the crazy shit they keep throwing at us. But apparently Laura put Klaus in a chicken suit, so there you go. That's how you do it. Comedy is the best killer of those evil fucks.
So
and then Daz asking the news, I'm sorry, Zach, the news talking about the air quality and how bad the orange smoke that we're getting, they're not getting there forever. I don't know. And then maybe they're, you know, since they don't ever tell us the truth in those sources, flip it over, and maybe the smoke is something else entirely. Well, that kind of leads back to those images that are being put up everywhere about a second sun being seen through that same smoke. Shout out to Zach and Cammy and the polarization demonstrations we've seen over and over, showing how that would easily be a way that we would or would not see a second sun, a third sun, a fifth sun, however many things are up there we're not seeing because of that polarization. So that smoke could definitely be revealing.
Well,
Anyway,
I've
go
seen
ahead.
multiple articles now about chemical factories, or I know British Petroleum's oil refinery in northwest Indiana and Whiting up there. They released. Okay, if you ever drive through that area, Whiting area of Whiting isn't very big. Not a whole lot of people, it's mostly British Petroleum. Well, and it smells like sulfur. When you just driving through, you smell sulfur. It's just there in the air at all times. And that smell extended, I think it was over this week, actually, Monday or Tuesday, something like that, I think it started. But you could smell that sulfur smell up to 50 miles away, 3